everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another book video for you all. Today I am going to sit and discuss my book club pick for March. I wasn't going to sit down and do this, but over the past couple of weeks over my book club, if you're new to my channel or you just don't know what I'm talking about, I have got my own book club over on Instagram. It's called Book Club with Jess. Really original, I know. I've had it for a couple of years, but this year specifically, towards the end of last year and then this year, I've really been invested in my book club, and I think you can tell from the videos I've been posting that I'm sort of changing it up and I'm doing something that I'm really passionate about, and that's just to sit down and speak about books nowadays. Yes, okay, there will still be mum content here and there, but primarily I want it to all be about books because it's my biggest passion in life, and I love reading, and the satisfaction that I get and the joy that I get when I have people message me and they're like, oh my god, I read this because of you and I loved it, what else can you recommend to me? I love it so much. So over my book club, a couple of the girls said about me sitting down and filming my review at the end of the month. And I wasn't sure if that was what people were interested in, but turns out they are, which is great, and I'm happy to do that. And then I asked a question about whether they wanted to see a review, whether it was negative or not, and again, people do want to see that. So that's what I'm here to do today. I know it's a bit of a random one, but you'll probably see if I read the book. Sometimes life gets busy. I know everything's starting with school and things like that. It's slowly starting to open up again and it's slightly stressing me out. But if I read the book, I'm going to sit in and review it every month. So that's what BCWJ means, is Book Club with Jess. Long intro. So the book club pick for this month was Sophie Kinsella's Can You Keep a Secret? So I pick the book every single month, and I try to do it so it's easily accessible, so something that you can get from libraries or you can get from supermarkets, or it's low cost on Kindle. This was £1.99 this month on Kindle. Obviously I've got the paperback version, however I didn't read it on paperback, I read it on my iPad. So I discovered, look, you can see where I finished it saying the end. I discovered, I don't really know how to use it still, the app called Libby. Can you see it in the middle? Probably not. You can also see my setup. I've popped you on Florence's high chair with a tub of porridge as my camera stand. So really high tech over here, and I've been doing this for 12 years. How have I been doing YouTube on and off for 12 years? 12 years. I discovered Libby, the library app, so probably really late to the party. I've got a Kindle, but I didn't want to buy it because I already have it in paperback format. But I'm really struggling reading paperbacks. It's taking me so long to get through them. So I downloaded the library app. I don't know whether that's just what it is in Norfolk or whether it's regional, but there's so many books on there, and sometimes you have to be a long wait. So I think one book that I've reserved, I'm on a 12-week waiting list, which is fine. I'm not in any hurry for it. But I was able to download it or borrow it straight away, and it was really enjoyable because I read it. I just love reading on an e-reader. I just find it so much easier than a paperback. I don't know what it is because I've got 250 paperbacks on my bookshelf. 4 minutes in, haven't even spoken about the book. A little bit about the book. It basically follows a girl. Is she in her 20s? I don't even think it says. I imagine her to be about my age, so 26, 27. Her name is Emma, and she is on a business trip to Scotland. On the flight home, there's loads of turbulence, and she thinks she's going to die in a plane crash, and she speaks to the person next to her and blurts out all of her secrets, thinking that she'll never see him again. And then she turns up to work and the guy that she revealed all of her secrets to is obviously, he's the CEO of the business, and he's I know you, sort of thing. And that is the premise of the book. So we sort of see her go through, she lives in London as well, we see her go through the horror of fuck, like he knows so much about me and I never thought I'd see him again. And funny things about how like her and her friend had code word to be like, should we go and, what was it? Go and do this. And it meant go for coffee, and she obviously told him that. And then he comes to the business place and her friend comes to her desk and was like, should we do this? And she's like, no, I'm fine. And obviously the boss man, Jack, knows it's for coffee, if that makes sense. So it's just a really funny, light-hearted book. Very easy read. Sophie Kinsella can never let you down, in the sense of it's just a light-hearted, funny, pick up, put down book. If I was to describe this book, I would say it's like a beach read. Like, it's just one of those, if you're fortunate enough to go on holiday this year, it's just one that you can pick up, go for a swim in the pool, and then pick it back up again. Like, you don't really need to concentrate too much on it. It's just very light-hearted chick lit. I will tell you my star rating. I gave it a 2-star on Goodreads. On my scale, it's a 2.5. I wanted to love it and I just didn't. And I'm gonna go into why I didn't. It might be minor spoilers and then I'll go into proper spoilers later on. If you've read it, let me know. I found Emma, really dumb. Really, really dumb. And I really struggle to relate to people in books that are dumb like that. Like, just use your brain. Like, you're in a corporate, like, office, and like I just couldn't. I didn't like her as a character. Don't get me wrong, I found the book really funny, but I also found it quite juvenile, and I feel like if I read this at 16, I would have loved it, and I would have found it really like funny, and it probably would have been like one of my favourite books, because it's like I said, it's very light-hearted and very funny, but it was very unrealistic, and I felt it was very dramatic when it didn't need, obviously it needed to be for the plot, but I just found her as a character quite irritating, and I didn't understand the romance, because we didn't really see any romance, and she declared she was in love with him, but she barely knew him, and it just felt very, like I said, very young, which is why it affected my rating. The other thing that affected my rating is I thought I had loads of pages left. iPad, it said that I had like 60 odd pages left, and then it just ended with the end, and I was like, what? Like, how can that just end? You had this massive build up, and then it was like a one page chapter where it was like listing points, and then it was the end, and I was like, that really annoyed me. So I'm now gonna go on to the spoiler section and obviously delve into the book. I recommend it. It's not my favourite Sophie. If you want something easy and you don't want to have a book that you have to really hardly concentrate on, then I do recommend it. It is a good funny read, but for me, there wasn't enough depth, there wasn't enough exploration, there wasn't really much character growth as well. Like, I just felt like she didn't grow at all, nor did he, and the secret that he had as well was just like, right, okay. So that's my non-spoiler section of the book. I'm now gonna sit and discuss a little bit more. I'm sorry that this isn't necessarily like a really positive review, but that's what we picked this month. So, spoilers. I really just did not like Emma. I just found her so stupid. Some of the secrets as well that came out weren't necessarily secret. When she kept running on about how, like, she told her boyfriend at the time, Connor, that she was like a size 8 and she was actually a size 12, it's like, why is that like a secret that you want to take to your grave? Like, I just didn't find it funny. Other secrets, my maths GCSE grade A when I only got a C. It's like, why is that something that you're gonna want to take to your grave? Like, I don't know, like I said in the non-spoiler section, I just found that she was very dramatic. Really wish I had bigger boobs. Not page 3 size, not completely enormous and stupid, but you know, just bigger. You know what it's like. Perfect date would start off with champagne just appearing at the table as if by magic. Like I don't know, like I feel like that the secrets to start with were not really like secrets. It was very just like base level secrets. I didn't like Connor when he was like, oh, should we call each other darling and things like that. I found that very cringy, and I didn't like him as a character. I did like it. I liked like the dynamic that they had in the office, and like how she was obviously like always targeted, and that sounds really bad, but obviously had like the people in the office that knew what they were doing, they were good at their job, and she was basically just like, I don't really know what she did for her job. Whatever she did, she wasn't very good at it. I liked it when we did see Jack come into the office and she was like, holy shit, like I did not expect this to happen and I have got no idea how I'm gonna get out of it. And seeing her like run around the office and trying to get out of being like confronted by him, I really liked that. I found that quite funny. And there were really funny parts, like when he knew about her watering, is her name Armistice or whatever her name was? Her colleague, she was watering her plant with orange juice, and so the colleague was like, why does my plant keep dying or whatever, and Emma sabotaged it. Like there were really funny parts. I really liked her flatmates Lissy and Jemima, although Jemima was quite pompous, but I still quite liked her. And I liked like when they were to get ready, or when they wanted Emma to get ready to like go on a date and Jemima wasn't there, and she'd like booby trapped her room because she didn't want Emma to take her stuff. So she'd like put buckets of water above the wardrobe and like sellotape everywhere and put things in certain positions so that she knew when she came home whether Emma and Lizzie had been in there, and they managed to get stuff out of there. Like it was silly, but I found it really funny because I can imagine I would get quite annoyed if someone just kept coming into my room and taking my stuff. Dates. I just didn't think there was any chemistry there. Like I just didn't really understand it. Like I don't even think we ever found out his age. And it felt quite forced. So she ended it with Connor to then get with Jack and like start dating Jack, but they didn't really communicate. Obviously he knew aspects of her life and he was intrigued by her, but that was it. It felt very surface level. It didn't really feel like they got to know each other very well. And then they went on that like the corporate day out where like the family got invited. I'll get onto the family in a minute. And I like how like he defended her with her family and was sort of throwing them under the bus a bit and making them realise what they were doing was not very nice. I liked that. And he helps build their relationship back up again. But then they slept together and then she was just professing her love for him, and I just found it really unrealistic, like I keep saying. Speaking of her family, Kerry obviously came to live with them when they were a lot smaller, and then they grew up together being cousins, I think. I really didn't like Kerry or her boyfriend or husband, whatever he was. I found that she was really, really horrible for no real reason. She always spoke down to Emma. Like obviously I know Emma was a bit dumb, but it felt like there was no respect there, and I really didn't like that. And I didn't like the fact that her parents just completely like just shoved her away and didn't really listen to her, and I just found that really annoying. And then suddenly Jack at the corporate day out was like X, Y and Z, and then I like, oh, like a light had switched on, and it didn't really feel like that one conversation, or the two, because they had one in a coffee shop, would rectify everything, and it sort of did. And it needed to be deeper. Like I've said before, it felt very surface level, this whole book, and there wasn't any depth or anything. So I didn't like Kerry. I didn't really understand why he was being so secretive about Scotland, because he asked her not to say how they met or what she saw him on the plane. And then to find out that he was basically like looking after / protecting Pete's 4-year-old daughter. Pete passed away. I was like, right, like why? I understand it. Obviously they wanted, because she is eventually going to inherit Panther, whatever it was, inherit all of the money for the business. I'm going to sneeze. They wanted her to have a normal life, and I understood that, but it just felt like it didn't need to be a massive secret. Like, he could have confided in Emma and that be it. When he went on TV and started blaring out all of her secrets as to everything, because they were producing that new woman's line, I would have been mortified. And the fact that she had to like go into the office and face everyone, and she did own it, and she did really, really well. And I liked that part of her, where normally she'd probably like hide away and cower, and this time she was like, no, fuck it, like this is what happened. I just felt like his secret and stuff was a bit irrelevant. The ending was very quick. They got back together again. The thing is that she lists some more secrets, shock, and then it says, but the thing is, it's completely normal to have the odd little secret from your boyfriend. Everyone knows that. So it was like, oh, okay, cool, and the end, they got back together. It just really annoyed me. It annoyed me that there was a massive build-up, no depth with them. I didn't see them go out and be boyfriend and girlfriend. It was like, and he's my boyfriend, the end. And I was like, cool, great. So that is my very rambly, sorry if it didn't make any sense, book review discussion of Can We Keep a Secret by Sophie Kinsella. Read it if you fancy it. I wouldn't reach for it. I wouldn't recommend that it's like the best one I've ever read by her. I get questions all the time as well as to, am I going to finish the Confessions of a Shopaholic series? I will eventually get there. I just don't feel like picking one up right now. So that is all from me for today. I'm going to wrap this one up. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will do another one next month when we pick a new book. Like I said, I've got my book club over on my Instagram, which is Book Club with Jess, if you want to go and follow me. And yeah, hopefully see you over there, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.